Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are building a vacation home for Sydney in New Horizons. I know I've been yapping a lot about doing one for Freckles, and originally I thought that this was what that was going to be, but she wasn't on my beach anymore. I didn't feel like time traveling back to a day where she was, and I don't know if time traveling backwards will bring back the villagers who were at Paradise Planning. I also don't have her amiibo, so I'm just going to wait until she shows up again. It's not the end of the world. It's not like I was really gung-ho about building a vacation home for her. I just thought that it kind of would have gone along with the theme that we've had lately, where I've been doing like water builds for water Pokemon in Pokopia, and her vacation home in this is like an underwater something, like an underwater utopia or whatever I think is what it's called. But anyway, we're doing a home office for Sydney. She's so cute. I didn't know where to put her. I did settle on the plot that we ended up going with. I do like it. I use that one a lot. I kind of wish there was a little bit more surface area on there, but I guess like it's not the end of the world really. I am overall happy with it, although I feel like I could have done more with the interior. I did not do a bathroom in the interior. I probably could have fit in a really small one, but it's not the end of the world, honestly. I mean, I'm never gonna come back to this again. And also, before you guys say anything, when you get near the end, you're gonna notice that the mug shelves that I put on the counter in the kitchen are not facing the same way as everything else. I forgot to rotate it when I put it down. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. No one really cares. It's not that deep. It does kind of bother me a little bit though. Do I really want to go back and renovate it just to rotate the mug shelves? Honestly, maybe, because it's a really easy way to get Pokey back, but like I don't need more Pokey. I have so much in my pockets anyway that Lottie just keeps putting it into my account. What I really should be doing is going there more often and exchanging it for bells. But I also don't need a lot of bells on this account. I should really be giving the bells to my second island, which I've been talking about a lot recently because we haven't been there in a long time. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, we're not going to be there for a long time yet. I am traveling right now. I did not bring my Switch that has that second island on it. I only brought my Switch 2 with me, which is where this is, because we're doing this from my main island on my main account. Not that you guys really care. So we already know, right, that we're not going to finish every Nook Miles card this year in 2026. I think that that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Really, who cares? It was very ambitious. I actually kind of care that we're not doing it, but it was very ambitious. And then I got this job, which has been going well for the most part. Like, I'm actually enjoying it. There are some aspects that I'm not a fan of, like just like a couple of things that are just very tedious, but luckily there are a couple of contractors who are working with me who are still contracted with the organization. And when they leave, I think that I'm going to be getting an intern to do some of the stuff. There's like a particular thing that I have to do that takes a lot of time, and because of that, I'm not really able to like multitask as well doing this particular thing. It has to do with importing files into our website for a database. And basically, for those of you who don't know, I work for the Audio Description Project, which is an initiative of the American Council of the Blind. I think I've talked about this in the past because this is a more recent job. I've had it for about 2 months now, and so far it's going great. One of the things that we have to do is update our list of titles. We have about 13,000, I think, titles in our database with audio description, and we get these by providers sending us spreadsheets, so like Netflix, for example. But there's one provider that sends us a sheet, and it's not consistent. Sometimes they'll send it every week, sometimes they'll send it every 2 weeks, and it's not consistent on like what day of the week they send it. But because you are able to subscribe to other services through this provider, like other streaming services, they are sending us a sheet with everything on it from all of the services that you can subscribe to through them, not just their own stuff, which means in the case of a couple of weeks ago, I imported a file and there were 700 new titles in there. Now, luckily, our system is pretty automated where most of it will just be going into the system. I won't have to touch it. I don't see them unless I actively look for them under the master titles database, and it's fine. However, there are some, if they're new, like if we don't have them in our system, or if the title is slightly different and it didn't realize that it's the same thing as something that we already have in our system. If it's something that has a slightly different title, that's fine because it can very easily be fixed. I just have to link it to something that we already have. If it's something that is not in our system, that's like a brand new series, or maybe it's something that's older that just has had description added to it for the first time, then I have to go to IMDb and Google and figure out all of this information for this title title to make sure that it's correct, like the age rating and the genre and the distribution, like the distributor, the studio. And a couple of weeks ago, the 700 titles one, there were about like maybe 50 to 100 that were not caught by our system. Most of them were things that we already had, so that was fine. However, more recently, there was an import that I did that had about 200 something new titles in it, and none of them were in our system, which is great because it means that there's all this new content that's being added with accessibility on it, like for audio description for people who are blind or low vision like myself. However, it made my job very difficult because it took me 3 days of tag teaming it with one of the contractors to get it done. We were both working from one end of the list. I was doing the beginning of it, they were doing the end of it. We kind of met in the middle and it was fine, but it took so long. And then one of the days I was traveling, so I took like a half day because I was on a plane. So it's like I wasn't really able to do it in a timely manner, and it's not the end of the world if it doesn't get done in 24 hours. It's not the end of the world. I mean, ideally it would be nice to get it done within 24 hours, but there's only so much time in a day, and I'm salaried and I work 40 hours a week. So there's that. I mean, again, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. I'm grateful that it's not just me doing it, that I have the assistance from the contractor, but the contractor is not going to be here forever because the plan is for them to leave and have their contract end and retire. And I've brought up the possibility of potentially having an unpaid intern to do some of this with me because it's not able to be done in a timely manner in addition to all of the other tasks that I have to do with my job because the database is only one thing. And that has been great. Very good reception on that, but obviously there's no point in doing anything about it now because the contractors are going to be with us, I think, until like the end of the year or something. I don't know. You guys probably don't care about any of this at all. I know it's probably not interesting. I'm just yapping about stuff that's happening in my life recently. There's not a whole lot going on. I am really happy with this vacation home build though. I think it's really cute. I would love it if my home office was on a little beach island. I think that would be adorable. I do kind of wish there was more space outside. Like I wish I could have like expanded it somehow. Obviously that's not doable and it kind of stinks, but it's fine. I think that the final product we ended up with looks very nice. I did want to add some more stuff to the outside, but I also wanted it to have like good vegetation, and really the only vegetation that looks good is palm trees. And I didn't want all of them to have the coconuts on it. I also wanted to have that pool. I'm glad that we added that in. This honestly just made me want to build more in Pokopia. Anytime I do a vacation home build or a VIP room design in New Horizons, it makes me want to open up Pokopia and build some more. Is that bad? Like the building mechanics in Pokopia, while definitely not perfect, are much more customizable and not as tedious sometimes. Like I can just build a whole house from scratch. I don't have to go with something that's preset on a preset amount of space. And the great thing about Pokopia too is that you can just take away blocks and add blocks. So I could just demolish a whole beach, or I could add blocks to a beach. Like there's that one part of Bleak Beach that's kind of on, I think, the corner of the map where the SSN is. It's like a little island that's kind of off the coast of where the cliffs are, sort of ish in the same area where you have Mosslax initially. And I love that little area and it has so much potential. I want to put a couple of houses there. I don't know which ones though. I almost want to put like the city house from the Skylands because I don't think that the sand house would look good in that area. I gotta like try it out. I think I have some extra kits in my storage, and what I like about that too is that I could just like have it be previewed, so I could preview the kit before putting it down and see like what it looks like with the overall aesthetic and vibe, and then I could just have Smearguru paint it and it'll be great. But this is not a Pokopia video. This is a New Horizons video, although I am going to talk about Pokopia for a couple more minutes now because I love that game. I have been going ham with the Sableye event. I have been getting so many of those crystal shards. It's great. I love it. I know that like the amount that spawns on the dream islands is random, like, you know, the ones that you use with the dolls to go to via Drifloom, but I have been going to the Dragonite one because that's also the one where you can get Pokemetal from and the rare Pokemetal, and I've just been like using the Magnemite form, breaking the red crystal fragment things to get the shards from them, like the clusters to get the shards or whatever, and also getting the Pokemetal. But I wish that we could take the tent with us to our cloud islands. I almost called it a dream island, but you know what I mean, the cloud islands that we can make. We can't print copies of the tent because it's a house kit, and we can't get the items from the tent, like the tent kit itself as an item, from the event on our cloud islands because it's not happening on our cloud islands, I think. I don't know. I saw somebody complaining about it on Reddit, and they're right. Like, you can photocopy all of the other items with the printer in the Pokemon Center, but you can't get the tent. And I want some tents. And I also wish that we could recolor it, like either throw a paint balloon at it or have Smeargaroo paint it, because I want some in different colors. I want to make like a little campground, and it's kind of going to suck if they're all just red. I know we have the tent roof pieces, and you could cheese it by putting a habitat in there and making a house out of it or whatever, but that's not the same as the actual tent house itself, even though that's a prefab. I feel like I could have added more stuff on the walls, and I don't know about the flooring. Like, I go with that flooring a lot. I do like it, but I feel like maybe it could have been changed out for something else, or I could have used like the flooring rugs to change up part of the area, like where the kitchen is. I do love that kitchen layout that I did, though. I've never done a kitchen layout like that in any of these, and that's really a testament to the size of this room, because we did go with like the largest room size. But overall, like I said, I'm very happy with it. We're done with the build. As usual, we got 40,000 Poke for our work, and like I said, because I have so much, she just put it into my account in the A, B, D, and P, or whatever it's called. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!